Rec Room is a game where you can shoot robots, chop goblins, and throw a frisbee. Its newest addition to its roster of games, Rec Rally, should have been a prime target for speedrunning the game. After all, the other Rec Room speedruns included quests and parkour races, so why shouldn't it include a racing game? Today, I'm going to tell you the story of the speedrun category that lasted a week. To start off our chain of events, we have the release of Rec Rally on September 29th, 2021. The game had a lot of hype behind it, and was met with overall good reception. The game was simple, you just drove around the track 3 times and finished. There were plenty of shortcuts to be found and used, which were for the most part discovered at launch. Many of the shortcuts didn't save time, however, as designed by the Rec Room devs. That's all there is to really know about the game. With that background knowledge out of the way, we have the first glitchless run of Rec Rally, posted on October 3rd, 2021, which was a 4:45 by flipflopnoob. flipflopnoob didn't have much of a speedrunning career at the time, with his only runs being in the game Hot Wheels Velocity X. Maybe it's his previous speedruns in a racing game which brought him to Rec Rally. Regardless, the run makes use of 2 shortcuts which are going to be important to the upcoming runs. The first one is called Grass Cut. The cut is pretty simple. All you have to do is hop up on the grass by the bush at the start of the track. As long as you don't stay on the grass too long, you'll save time from it. The second is a really important cut called Funky Skip. Discovered by the Funky Badman True on Discord, you slow down, approach the bush, and then get onto the rock and then turn off. This cut also has to do well, or you lose time compared to the normal route. Overall, the run is pretty unremarkable, besides it being the first speedrun of Rec Rally posted to YouTube. With the first run complete, flipflopnoob rushed over to Discord to make a place where people could discuss speedrunning. On October 4th, the Rec Rally speedrunning Discord was born. Surprisingly, there was actually a fair number of people who joined. There are currently 13 people on the server, with only 5 speedrunners and 1 who would leave. All in all, the server was a success, as it had brought people in to discuss and share runs of Rec Rally. That being said, only one major event really ever happened on the server, but we'll get to that later. On October 5th, flipflopnoob would improve his time to a 4:42. The only difference between flipflopnoob's previous run and this one was that he drove cleaner and more consistently. At this point, times were getting harder and harder to bring down, and members of the Discord server were speculating that the run was soon to reach its peak, and boy, were they wrong. Runs stalled until the eventful day that was October 9th, when a new runner by the name of Blue Thick Fish appeared in the morning to post their time of 4:39, which was at this point a large amount ahead. There was a difference between Fish's run and flipflopnoob's run this time, however. If you recall, flipflopnoob made use of a skip called Funky Skip. The issue with the skip was that you had to slow down to a near stop, which meant losing your momentum, which was vital for runs. Fish's run didn't even do Funky Skip, which is where they made their time saves. It was at this point a crucial decision had to be made for the future of runs. Would people skip over the mountain or not? flipflopnoob stuck to their guns and continued practicing their runs. Only a couple hours later, Fish would make a return to the server to post about his most recent time, a 4:37. Fish would state afterwards that his run was absolute perfection. This may have been true, but it was only so for runs without Funky Skip. With flipflopnoob a whopping 5 seconds behind, and a run he thought was optimized, things were looking bleak for the future of Funky Skip. But then, something interesting happened. While flipflopnoob was practicing their runs, they didn't slow down enough to perform a Funky Skip. As a result, they bumped into the rock before it, but instead of missing Funky and having to restart the run, he landed on the rock needed to perform Funky, and drifted past the invisible wall. This new method, which was dubbed Funky V2, allowed you to keep significantly more speed, but was it enough to bring down the menacing time of Fish? Still on October 9th, flipflopnoob began a stream trying to master the new technique. Funky V2 took a lot of skill, but after 6 hours of speedrunning that day, flipflopnoob would achieve his opus magnum. He performed Funky V2 again, and again, and again, and achieved a 4:33. The run was near perfect. On all 3 laps, flipflopnoob would perform Funky V2 perfectly, a feat which made the run why it was so impressive. This run would be the final world record to come to Rec Rally, but it's not the end of the story. Shortly after the run was posted in the Discord, Blue Thick Fish would claim that the record was theirs as soon as they learned Funky V2. And that closes October 9th. the last day Rec Rally was speedran. The next day, Blue Thick Fish would emerge onto the Discord server to deliver their thoughts to the community. To sum it up, Fish states that Funky V2 is a glitch and that it uses controlled consistency. Mind you, this is not skill, that's a completely different thing. He would also reveal that he submitted a support ticket to get Funky V2 removed, which, of course, wouldn't happen. A fellow runner by the name of Mutex would shortly put a rest to this argument, which led to Blue Thick Fish leaving the server for good. This would put the final nail in the coffin in terms of Rec Rally speedrunning, as without Blue Thick Fish, there would be no one else to compete with flipflopnoob, and it would stay that way, forever. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe, helps me out a lot, and I'll see you guys next time!